And it says we are live. It's Thursday night. I'm here. You're beautiful. That must mean, baby, it's time for the first GotBot Goes live of September. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that last Friday was September 1st. So we're winding down summer. We're slowly heading into autumn, getting back into that routine. But let's not forget that up and coming at some point, apparently, between now and I'll say the holidays, I got a funny feeling it's going to be more October, maybe even November-ish, maybe even later. We do have inching ever closer the release of Deathsaurus. We know that that is up and coming. Before we get going with the introductions and whatnot, we're going to have, I can't believe I'm saying this, another moment of silence to start the show for the late lead singer of Smash Mouth, Steve Harwell. And he passed away on the 4th from acute liver failure. He had a history of several health problems, and some of it was substance abuse, unfortunately, that I'm sure did affect his health overall. You know, his manager said that he lived full throttle. And those who are fans of Smash Mouth and fans of his, you know, certainly I hope that they have some fond memories of him. So a moment of silence while I get things set up. Okay, let's get going here. Now, this is going to be interesting. I actually have a couple of things for the unboxing tonight, and something that I wasn't going to open, but it literally came maybe an hour before I went on the air, if that. And I haven't got it out of the package or anything. I've actually got scissors here with me, and we're going to get it out of the package here live. The other two I've already got out of the package, of course. As I told you last week, if you were here, I have enough things that I'm going to do a little bit of an unboxing for the next, well, now about 3 weeks or so, maybe 4 weeks still. Last week in the unboxing, we opened up Detritus, which I looked at last Friday. And we looked at him kind of in concert with my kind of early thoughts on Hound. And of course, some people like that mold, some don't. I mean, it, you know, it is what it is. But I think that the potential is there for it to be a really great Hound. I love it for Detritus. And some people said that they didn't like the fact that he had the Autobot symbol and the Decepticon symbol. But, like, that's the way the mercenaries were done way back in the day. And he's an homage back to then, before there ever was a mercenary faction and a mercenary symbol. I understand that some people might like to see the mercenary symbol now that we have one. But me being kind of I guess a G1 purist, I'm glad that we have what we have. That being said, we also looked at Strong Arm, and Strong Arm was she's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I get that. I think that she's quite strong. I think she's a good use of the mold. Some people said it's flat. It's really not. And I had an argument, not really an argument, but somebody who said, like, she should be bigger than, like, Earthrise Trailbreaker. I'm like, I don't get it, and I don't see it. They're not from the same series even. I don't see that comparison. Maybe she looked at a little flat on camera or something, but in hand, she looks fine to me. She scales fine to me. I have no issue with it. I feel like her femininity really shines through, and I feel like that she more closely matches her animation model, which is not as bulky as the RID 2015 toy. That said, if you have the RID 2015 version and you don't see a need to upgrade, then don't. I mean, that's an excellent version as well. I just don't own it. So that was my excuse for getting this one. And coming up tomorrow, which was revealed last week, coming up tomorrow, tomorrow's review will be Shadow Striker, of course. So that's what we've already seen from the items that came to me much earlier than they were supposed to, right? So we got actually plans for the next couple of weeks up and coming, right? So, you know, let's kind of see how it goes. But we do have not 2, but now 3 things to, for the unboxing tonight. Let's see. Waspinator, glad you're here. Hey, Big M. Hey, Marcus. Hey, Warren. Hey, Jason. Hey, Lee Bird. Hey, Boss Gunny. Grimlock Gun, Marcus, Joseph. So the other thing I wanted to mention was I hope nobody ever asks me to do the top 10 most hated Transformers ever again. I knew it was going to be controversial because I knew people were going to politicize it. with their foolishness and their nonsense and their bigotry. And I knew I was going to end up having to delete very classless, tasteless comments, to be perfectly honest with you. And I knew I wasn't going to like the list. And I didn't. I did not. I'm going to tell you now, I did not enjoy doing it. I did it because I did the most beloved back in 2020. And right after I did that, I had people saying, now you need to do most hated. And I knew even then it was going to be controversial. And I put it off until now. And I'm just so sick and tired of hearing so many people ask for it that I said, you know what, I'm just going to do it and get it out of the way. I'm going to get it out of the way. So that's done. So if anybody ever asks me again, I can just say, yeah, it was done here. That said, I'm liking the new one, Insectoids. That will be the next one. And some people said, well, you know, I can't count a spider because that's not an insect. That's why I said insectoids, because insectoids are anything insect-like or arachnid-like, can have 6 or 8 legs. So I kept it as broad as possible. Fun fact, even a crustacean like I think they call it crustaceans, a shellfish like a crab is considered an insectoid because it has the 8 legs, right? And it's arachnid-like. So it's wide open, wide open. That word was chosen very specifically. Hey, Joel, Razor Bear. Well, I mean, you're saying Transformers are like Power Rangers fans or Star Wars fans, or you know what? Half the population of Earth, Joseph. There's a lot of toxicity. Hey, Trents. Okay, let's get into the news because, of course, the quicker we're through the news, the quicker we get to the trivia and the unboxing. And one of these is, I think, a very important unboxing, and I'll discuss it when we get there. So I want to begin things first and foremost with Bingo Toys Arachnid. I neglected last week to actually mention this piece of news, and that was my fault. There was so much news last week that I neglected this, and yeah, so that's on me. I think she's phenomenal looking. The sculpt detail is crazy. She's certainly stylized, but if you look at it, you're going to see a spider lady, and you're going to say it's Black Arachnia. Here's what I don't like about it. The lower half of her face is very flesh colored, and I'm like, it looks like she's almost dressed up as Batman if Batman was a spider. And the flesh color is really throwing me off. If I had it, and no, I don't have a pre-order in or anything like that, but if I had that, I feel like I would have to paint the lower face a different color. I'm thinking gold or maybe silver. I wouldn't be able to leave it as the flesh tone. It's not striking me right. Otherwise, I think it looks phenomenal. That said, I feel like that company had some controversy around it, around some earlier release that wasn't their design or something. Maybe it was Windblade. And I'm not sure if that's the same company or not. I don't remember the story now. I just know that they're doing an Arachnid and she looks splendid. Similarly, we got some gameplay for the Earthspark Expedition video game up and coming. And I'm going to tell you now, it looks like a great game. It is third person where you see like Bumblebee on the screen. And I don't know if there are other playable characters or not. It certainly harkens to the artwork used in the cartoon, but it does have a little bit of a slight difference to it for the game. It takes me very much back to like a nice traditional looking third person action adventure game, a la, you know, Resident Evil, Tomb Raider, like those ones. I would probably actually enjoy this one, to be honest with you. It looks pretty good. What's the gameplay and the mechanics like? Who knows? But from the little snippet seen, I think it was on IGN, you know, the little gameplay trailer looked pretty good. Newage Swoop. That's right. Newage doing the Dinobots. We know that they showed off their swoop in both its regular colors, I suppose. Blue chest, by the way. I'm sure there'll be one with a red chest eventually. And like an all clear version, which I still don't get. However, I like the opaque wings on the all clear version because I feel like the wings on the regular colored version are just gray like the rest of the body. And I feel like Swoop's wings should be a lighter gray. That said, I like how the wings fold back. So from the front, it looks like it's almost like a half a wing, like it should. But then when you look on the back, I feel like because the rest of the whole wing comes out to a point, I feel like what they should have done is have a secondary hinge there, or maybe that would be the tertiary hinge. I'm not sure if there's one right in by the body or not, where the very tip could fold up out of the way, just so it's not like kind of there sort of in the way on the back. But that's just me. Otherwise, I think it looks like a great Legends class swoop. I'm going to say Legends class because that's usually what New Age does. Let's just check in with you guys again before I kind of get going again here. About Waspinator, tarantulas, yeah, and I mean they both count. Shrimp, the cockroach of the sea. That's why we eat them. I like shrimp. I don't like eating cockroaches. Um, Nothing is as bad as Star Wars fans. Yeah, I hear that they're terrible. By the way, another very humid 34-degree day here. You know, that's up around 102, 103, something like that. It was a gross feeling day here. Starscream wife could attest. It was a gross feeling day here, wasn't it? Yeah, that's right.
It was yucky.
It was yucky. Yeah.
So sticky.
Yeah, and we were both doing work around the house and stuff today. Listen, I don't imagine a lot of people would know the word insectoid. And I'm going to tell you now, the whole reason I chose insectoid over insect is because I knew if I said insect, there would be people who would try voting for arachnids. And I or others would say, yeah, but that's not an insect. They have 8 legs instead of 6. I really didn't want to go through hundreds of comments like that. So I said, excuse me, you know what? I'm going to use insectoid and open the field wide open, and we'll see what comes of it. Hey, Ultra Megatronus. Hey, Maximal 10. No, Star Trek fans are sweethearts. Sweethearts. Moving on. Hey, Dragonfly. Protoform X. Does he count? Well, he kind of turns into a crab, so yeah, I guess Rampage could count. Shrimp's good. Fried, that is. Listen, I like shrimp any way that it's made. My wife is sort of baffled as to why I like it. I also like mussels. There used to be a restaurant here. No, she doesn't really do seafood. Well, you do cod. Battered cod.
I don't do shellfish.
Yeah, you don't do shellfish. That's a good way of putting it. Like, I love lobster and stuff, too. And I haven't had it in a long time. And I mean a long time. Going on. 91 degrees. Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. Right? Codfish. Codfish. I've never had catfish. I don't know if it's good or not. I've never had it. Yeah, they're ugly, but that doesn't mean they're not delicious. There's a lot, like turkey's ugly, and you think that's delicious, right? So I'm just saying. Joseph says it's great. So there you go. Okay, going on here. So we saw some more pictures of Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. I was actually talking about this with Razor Bear. So he's definitely out of scale, 150% out of scale. The correct scale isn't even my Combiner Wars one, which is the one I have. That's also incorrect scale. It's just I accept it as bigger because I know in a lot of the animation, his size wildly changes, and I'm okay with him being kind of as big as Jetfire, basically. Now, why did I say the Studio Series 86 is out of scale and make that known? Because one of the things 86 has been doing is making sure that scale is the thing that's followed. Very, very important. If you look at the Sunbow chart, the Dinobots should be leader size. If you look at other leader class offerings and stuff, the 86 Dinobots are the correct size for what the Dinobot should be based on the Sunbow chart. Ultra Magnus, based on that same chart, and I know we can't go by it because I know it varies wildly, but that's really our only objective frame of reference. Ultra Magnus, according to that chart, is the same height as Rodimus and Springer, which means he should be about Voyager-ish height. That's why the Siege Earthrise one is actually the correct scale. Plus, it's smaller than the Dinobots. Now, we get to the 86. The 86 is a bit shorter than Jetfire. I reckon he's somewhere around 10 inches instead of a foot. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It could be that the mass of those other 2 inches in height is made up in the body because he is quite wide. And there's a lot of engineering and hinges and stuff around the way his shoulders and arms work. Plus, he has the combiner mechanisms built within his legs and his arms for coming apart. So, like, I sort of understand where the mass might still be redistributed. I feel like the 86 Ultra Magnus is very much trying to be as animation accurate as it can. But in order to pull that off, it means that the scale had to be a little bit off. I don't hate it, and I don't really have a problem with it. I'm not invested in it, to be honest with you. But I don't have a problem with it because I think he looks pretty good, except when he's pointing forward. His shoulder's super low. But the thing that I do find looks a little odd is when you put him next to the Dinobots. But I can't really complain about that either, because I think the 86 Dinobots, as I said in today's short, are the best mainline Dinobots we've ever gotten or probably ever will get. And even my Ultra Magnus is big next to them. Not as much as the Commander class, but it is big next to them. So, yeah, I get it. The correct scale based on the Sunbow chart is going to be the Earthrise or the Siege. But for overall look and aesthetic, I mean, the 86 looks like he jumped off of the screen. I'll give credit where credit is due, right? Movie masterpiece, Dark of the Moon Ratchet, now confirmed. We have seen it. 163.93 US is his price. So, you know, probably 229 Canadian would be my guess. I mean, the Ratchet came out. This is the less impressive, less liked color scheme overall for him. I don't know how popular it will be. I guess time will tell. But it has now been confirmed, as has the Air Razor and Inferno 2-pack. One thing I do like about the Inferno, I don't feel like he has a lot of paint differences from the main release. A few, nothing worth talking about, though. However, he comes with not one, but two of his flamethrower things. One to actually go like in his tail section, like his thrusters, and another to hold in his hand. I love it. I think that that's cool. The Air Razor, she actually has more detail and paint on her than I thought she was going to, specifically gold, especially, but some black as well. I think the one from Kingdom is just fine, but I'm not going to lie. This one does have just a little bit more love. Again, this is one of those, like, I wouldn't double dip for it, but if you skip the first one, then this might be another 2-pack worth getting, right? A Voyager and a Deluxe, I mean, you know, they seem, I'll say, reasonably priced for the paint deco. Speaking of Takara and paint decos, their Earthspark stuff is up and coming real soon. I'm actually going to find that in the news because we might as well just talk about that now and get it out of the way. But I don't want to leave it there for after. Here we go. So they're coming out with like some deco changes, and the cartoon itself is, see if I can find that, is premiering October 1st. So Takara showing off all of the Earthspark stuff now. The pre-orders and whatnot, they are pumping the promo machine hard for Earthspark. And what do I mean by changes? Is it all of a sudden now Takara is going right back to doing their different paint jobs and stuff? No, it's very minor. I'm going to use Twitch here as an example. Here is the North American release of Twitch. And I looked at the Takara one, and the Takara one has like an orange light in the center instead of yellow. The entire crest going back on the head, all of that is gray. The eyes might be painted rather than light piped, but that's about it. Arguably, these pieces up here might be a darker, almost black, or a darker charcoal than this gunmetal gray. But overall, it's not that significant of a difference from Twitch. I feel like the Bumblebee, his yellows might match a little bit more. Like, it's minor deco changes just intended to look more like the cartoon. By the way, I guess I'll do this now too, even though we're partway through the news. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share. Of course, subscribe while you are at it. Light them up, baby. Oh, there we go. Hit the notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton and lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Don't you be judging me over there, lady.
I am. I'm doing it.
See what I got to put up with? If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through Spring, or, of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. Okay, we got the proper intro out of the way because I forgot it because I'm old. And we're going to go on with the news. Let's go on with the news. So, yeah, the Takara stuff, I mean, it premieres over there October 1st. Over here, season 1 is like done. I don't know. I like the Earthspark stuff. I love the Terrans. I really do. I think that there's an opportunity there for a lot of character development. And I'm going to tell you now, if you didn't watch season 1 or you gave up after a few episodes, man, watch it. Because those last 3 or 4 episodes, especially, maybe 4 or 5 episodes, you know, I thought that the storytelling the whole season was excellent, but those last 4 or 5 episodes get really intense. And toward the end, it gets really dark. Honestly, it gets really dark. Okay, moving on. Super 7 is doing a burning convoy. This is the translucent red version of Optimus Primal. It is the Super 7 Optimus Primal done in those translucent red colors as he appeared in the Beast Wars 2 anime movie. I would suspect if this is going to be released in North America, much like the other variants have been, it'll probably be a Target / Toys R Us exclusive. Target in the US, Toys R Us in Canada. That would be my guess if you really want a Super 7 burning convoy that has very little articulation. But, you know, to each their own, I guess. In China, hope I'm saying this right. Tongshifu, I hope I'm saying that right, is doing a set of copper statues for Rise of the Beast. Really, these are versions of the characters in both of their modes. So like there'll be an alt mode statue and there'll be a robot statue. I don't think they're articulated, but they are quite nicely painted. And because they're copper, they're going to have a nice bit of heft to them. Will they ever like oxidize and turn green or whatever? I don't know. I don't have any copper statues, but they are nice to see. Again, you can see all of those images if you want to see them on TFW and tformers.com. And to be fair, I don't know if it's easy to get them outside of China. They're for the Chinese market, right? So make of that what you will. Transformers and Seiko are doing an Optimus Prime watch. Not like my watch, but it's going to be blue. It's going to be red. It'll have some gray. It's a Transformers watch, right? There will only be 300 units made, so it will be a limited watch. The price will be a nice, cool, breezy $402 US. So in Canadian, it's like $750 for a watch. So sorry. You could pre-order now between now and January 10th if you want a $500 watch. Go for it, man. Go for it, I guess. NMC showed off their Nox Promenon, which is basically a Scourge / Nemesis Prime repaint of Optus. Was it Optus Pexus? Yeah, Optus Pexus, which is their fantastic, super articulated Optimus Prime. I'm not. Is it a War Within? Is it 90? I'm not sure what the homage is now. I used to know it. I totally forgot it existed because it was a long time ago. But you know what? This all black-ish repaint looks really good. It comes with a ton of accessories. Still hyper articulated. If you don't know the mold, look up a review on Optus Pexus and imagine it like in black, and then you'll know about Nox Promenon, right? Yeah, so I think that's really, really cool. Starfield, apparently it's like the hottest video game or something. I've never heard of it. I'm not going to lie. I don't even know what the premise is, and I don't care to know what the premise is. I don't need a whole bunch of comments about it because it doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to play it. I just don't have the time. Not that I don't support it. I don't have the time. But within that, there's actually a little Transformers Easter egg. In one of the many cutscenes of conversation and whatnot, apparently one of the answers that you can choose as your response is the universal greeting. You know what I'm trying to spit out. And do you think I can get my lips working with me? No, sir. You know what I'm talking about. The universal greeting is one of the choices. I would obviously have to choose that one and see what happens. Oh, man, that's cold. Man, that is cold. Hold on. I'm just going to turn the page. And before I keep going, I'm going to check in with you guys because it's been a hot minute. And I know you guys have been talking. And if I skip stuff, guys, I do apologize. Let's see. Fried catfish is wonderful. Marcus says fried catfish is wonderful too. So I don't know. I mean, this province was built on fishing, but it was mostly built on cod fishing, mostly cod and shellfish. So, like when we have fish and chips, people from the UK would be able to appreciate this. When we have fish and chips, it's French fries with usually battered fried cod. Sometimes it might be halibut, or sometimes some places even use haddock. But generally, it's cod, and especially this time of year, it's fresh cod. In fact, there's one.
If you give me freaking haddock or halibut
for cod
fish and chips when I'm expecting cod, we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah, me too. I get it. But like if they said, well, our fish is halibut, That's different, right? But generally it's cod. And there's one restaurant here now. The owners are actually fishermen, and they catch their fish, and it goes to their restaurant, and then they sell it from the restaurants. It's that fresh, and it's delicious. Catfish and garlic butter. I do like me some garlic butter. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Big fan of garlic butter. Hey, Larkin. Larkin, our super chat super fan. I appreciate you being here, buddy. By the way, congratulations on the silver play button. I don't know what kind of magic you got, but feel free to lend some of it to your boy over here for sure. But congratulations nevertheless. Hey, Ben Penderell. What? Do I know Blamzuka? No, I don't. I've heard the name, but you know what? I've heard the name, but not in a while. Yeah, Magnus wasn't that massive, but I get why they're doing what they're doing there. Wrong size. Marcus says, yesterday's leaders, today's commanders, right? I hear you, buddy. Yeah, it's off of Delta Magnus for sure. Still have not found Snarl. You know what? It's so weird. Like, I got, of course, my pre-order a long time ago, but I still have yet to see him on the shelf anywhere, like actually physically on a shelf anywhere. So I don't know. Maybe the shelf versions are late coming or something. I don't know. Penderell, dude, I already said I don't know. It's no good for you to ask it over and over, because if I'm doing the news, I'm going to have to go back and check. A lot of people that aren't used to being here will say or ask the same thing over and over, thinking I'm going to miss their comment. But I always scroll up to where I was last and at least skim them. Some of them I don't necessarily talk about out here because I'm trying to be somewhat timely. But I certainly do see it. And where you ask the question, I would certainly answer it, right? Or try to answer it. Called Thorax, yeah. Hey, Transformer Joe. You did catch me live. Hey, Joel. Late bell. It was a late bell. Yes, it absolutely was a late bell doing the intro and stuff. Let's go down here a bit. Have I been under a rock? Are you talking about the Starfield thing? No, I just don't follow video games. Like, you send me a lot of stuff, Joseph, and a lot of pictures that I'm not going to lie. I don't even know the franchises. That's why I don't reply to them, because I'm like, I don't even know what this is. And I don't really care what it is, to be honest with you, because it's not something from my era. I got nothing against it. It's just different generations, man. That's all, right? Just different generations. I just started watching Warzone. I don't know what that is, but enjoy, I guess. Warrior Deluxe, I don't think Voyager exists in Earthspark. No, it doesn't. You're right. I could buy a house with that money. The copper transformer statues will somehow find a way to turn yellow. They might find a way to turn yellow. Yeah, they might find a way to turn yellow. You may have covered this, but I'm little disappointed. No, I'm not to him yet, Crueler. I'm going to get there. It could have been made an interesting Autobot, much like Autobot Spike. Yeah, I'm not there yet, but I'm going to talk about that. My birthday's in a couple of weeks away. I feel too old for this too. Dude, I'm 45. You're never too old. You're only as old as you feel, and I usually feel 90. 90. My province was built on Leif Erikson. No, it was built on fishing. That's weird. But okay. Nova Prime's on the way. That's nice. So is mine. I don't have it yet, though. Midnight there. Oh, my goodness. By the way, started working on the Christmas gift already. Uh-oh. That's Maximal 10. And if you've been around the last few years, you know that what I get from Maximal 10 is usually pretty wonky and wild. As a matter of fact, I still have some odds and ends from the last Christmas gift that I still have. I'm going to do an odds and ends review. I'm just trying to get around to it, and I keep having more interesting stuff come up because the odds and ends are, you'll see when we get there. You'll see when we get there. We'll get there. Went from GotBot Goes live to Dennis's delicacy discussions. Now on garlic catfish. You never know when you come to the live show. You never know what sort of tangent we're going to get on. You never know. Hey, Hala. Is my favorite Transformers nerd. Too kind, buddy. Transformer Joe. I got Nova Prime today. I haven't made it home to play with him yet. I hope he's good. I hope he's good. My Nova Prime showed up yesterday. He's solid. That's good. Mine is now slated for the 25th because, you know, I live in Canada, right? Such is life. Let's keep going here. Oh, this isn't a moment of silence, as we started out with. However, let's all keep Peter Spellos in our mind. If you don't know who Peter Spellos is, he right now is battling stage 3 pancreatic cancer, which is never fun, and it is no joke. He is best known to us as the voice of course, Skybite. He is RID 2001 Skybite. All of those wonderful poems are Peter's voice, right? So all of our thoughts, best wishes, prayers if that's your thing, whatever, are with him in this difficult time. I believe there's a GoFundMe to help with his medical expenses and whatnot. That's been around like the various Transformer sites and stuff. So check it out if you're in a position, you know, to help him, right? I already talked about the Takara stuff. Unix Square is doing an Optimus Prime bust. It's 19 centimeters, so it doesn't seem really huge, but it's a bust. It has hinges and stuff that works. It has LEDs, joints for like the neck and the head. I think maybe the shoulders. I don't know if he's going to end up with full arms. It looks like down to maybe his elbow. There was like a gray prototype. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It looks okay. I'm not really a busts kind of guy because that's more statuish. But if you are, I mean, it looks pretty detailed. You know, I'll give credit where credit is due. Let's reserve judgment until we see like a, pardon me, full painted copy or something. Let's go up here. Jay says, love MMC, Optus, Promenon, Command, and Optus Pexis, Super Cup are amazing. Yeah, I mean, I love MMC anyway. Like, I don't have a lot from MMC, but like Salvia Promenon. By the way, when I done the shelf and the shorts with my Primus and my 13 Primes on it, she's on that shelf, although I don't think you could see her because she's kind of in the back, sort of next to, ironically, Megatronus, which I think I did show. And that came from Razor Bear, and I can't thank him enough. Far too generous. But I mean, she's like one of my pride and joy. Honestly, she really, really is. I adore her to no end, to the point where I have said to a lot of people that if they do an official Solus Prime, I don't need it. I really don't need it because she's gorgeous. She's absolutely gorgeous. And it shows the work that MMC does. You know, I have experienced a few things from them over the years and have yet to be disappointed by MMC. Great company, great work. KGBO and Killer Body are doing a Dark of the Moon Scalpel. You know, that little Decepticon doctor that climbs in Spike Wiki's nose and in around his head and stuff, and looking for that code or whatever it was, or trying to get something. I don't know what Scalpel was doing. I don't know. There's pictures of him next to the the map, right. The MPM Jazz. I feel like he's a bit big when you see him next to Jazz, but I the amount of detail and paint and joints, like, it's, man, you see it and you're like, if you know Scalpel, you'll say that's obviously that mad Decepticon doctor. I would actually like to get it because the only Decepticon doctor I have now is Knockout, right, as a medic. But Scalpel is, he's nuts, but I mean, technically he's a doctor. So make of that what you will. I think it looks tremendous. If you want to see images of it, of course, they're all over tformers.com and TFW. Rise of the Beast closed as the lowest earning Transformers movie in the franchise. I think it was doomed before it ever came out because you had people who said, I don't like Beast, so I'm not going to see it. Big sook. You had other people who came out and said, it's trash, it's no good. It is, and I've said this consistently, Bumblebee might have the most heart, though I thought that so much could have been edited out of that. Like, I think the editing on that is atrocious. The first one was the first one, so it's the nostalgia one. But in terms of having an idea, jot notes, writing a rough copy, doing editing and revising and doing a good copy, and then filming that, Rise of the Beast follows the tenets of writing and storytelling the best. It is the cleanest film yet. And a lot of people said, like, how did Unicron make that thing at the end? Unicron didn't make that thing at the end. You put the two halves of the key together, and then that unlocked the conduit. Like, I don't understand why people are questioning stuff that's very clearly explained in the movie. But I do think that people that complain that ardently about it are the ones that turn so many people off from it. Not to mention that this is the first post pandemic era Transformers movie, and there is no film that has recovered to the 2019 levels, because the film industry as a whole did not recover to those levels. I think it performed quite well in the current atmosphere in America. Was it, was it a Mojo Dojo Casa House? Heck no. And maybe there might be some fatigue with the franchise, and maybe some people don't like the Beasts, and maybe some people said, they didn't like when Bumblebee was taken out. Personally, I thought it was refreshing to have somebody else as the young bot than Bumblebee, because I don't like Bumblebee. In fact, he appeared on the most hated list because people are just Bumblebee'd out, man. I think that this was a stellar first chapter. I don't believe for a second we're close on seeing all of the beasts that we're going to get. I think that all this was with those four was to wet our whistle. And I think I don't want for a lot more character development in a chapter 2 and a chapter 3. Like Unicron. At this point, we've only had a hint of Unicron. He's kind of like the looming baddie, like Thanos was for the MCU for a long time at this point. I think we got a ways to go. Give it a chance, please. Now in the, I'll say aftermarket, give it a chance, really, because I've had people who have come to me and said, like, there's this plot hole in this, but I had a dude argue with me, black and blue, and I answered every one of his things and said, it's in the movie, it's in the movie, it's in the movie. And he kept arguing, saying, no, it's not there. It's not. Well, then go and watch it again. He said, I watched it yesterday. Were you paying attention? Because the stuff you're saying is foolishness, right? Give it a chance. I'm sad that people that are supposed to be fans of Transformers bashed this before they ever gave it a chance. I think that more than anything is what hurt it. And if you're going to give it a fair chance, there's a wonderful story in there. At least the start of a wonderful story in there. R.I.P. What? Who? Somebody said Jimmy Buffett? I had no idea. Didn't hear anything about that. R.I.P. to Jimmy Buffett, I guess. I didn't hear anything about it. I did not. Nope. Hey, Blue. If I didn't say it already, buddy. It's so good. I'm with Ken. It's so good. It's so good. And people are like, there's too much human stuff at the beginning. No, it's not. You set up that Elena is an enthusiastic employee, probably student, learning archaeology at a museum. Her boss is a moron who's obviously, been there longer than her and whatnot, because she's the one like teaching her. I took it that Elena's a student. And then she uses a machine that she shouldn't use, which activates half of the key. And like that same dude that complained said, how come they were able to track that key, but they couldn't find the other one that was just wrapped up with some tribesmen? Because that other half wasn't activated. There was no big beacon of light in the air like there was when Elena accidentally activated the first half of the key. All this is really, really clear and in the movie. And Noah, it sets up that Noah is post-military. He's struggling to find a job and find where he fits in. He has a little brother who's quite sick. He is somewhat desperate. And then the conflict between him and Optimus, when Noah's like, man, we can't worry about this Cybertron place. We got to save our own planet and our own people and our own families. I thought the dichotomy was great. I'm with Ken, man. I'm with Ken. Hey, Zoran. A lot of films are becoming box office failures these days. You're not wrong. And it's the second closest we've gotten to G1 looking. Although I think that this film would have actually done better had they retained and probably had more of the characters from that 5 minutes in the Bumblebee movie. That's what everybody wants. What you had on Cybertron there, that's what everybody wants. That's the film everybody wants. That's where you get back to your $1 billion range. I bought it on Amazon Prime Movies. here's the thing. Myself and Starscream wife saw it in theater. We didn't see it with the kids. And I kept telling them all summer that we watch it. And just before they went to Florida about 2 weeks ago, we watched it yet again. And I was like, man, this is still good. I still enjoy it, you know? And Elena has a photographic memory. Like some people said, like, she doesn't have a lot of depth. She didn't need a lot of depth. We knew that she's an employee who's young and overzealous and knowledgeable at a museum. Her and Airraiser, they're the plot devices that explain everything. Her and Airraiser and Primal explain everything. They're the ones that offer the explanations. You know, that same person who criticized said, like, how did they ever know to go to Peru? Elena knew to go there. And she had sent the coordinates over. And Wheeljack was able to get there sooner. Whether he was already there or not, I don't know. But he kind of zoned in on the coordinates and found the detail. Boom. It's very, like, it's all elegant. I don't know why anybody would question it, man. I don't tend to like the comics anyway. Although I've liked the first comic of Void Rivals. I do not have the other ones. Not at this point. Oh, yeah, when people ask, how did Mirage come back to life? Because he never died. And some people were like, how come Airraiser got, like, taken over by Scourge, but Mirage didn't? Because Airraiser had a projectile that Scourge fired land on her. And that projectile is what connects him to her. You could clearly see it fire out and clearly see it land on her. When he was attacking Mirage, he was just shooting him. He wasn't putting one of those projectiles on him. Again, it's all real clear, man. Anyway. Hey, Matt. See you there too, buddy. Okay, let's go on a little bit. Rise of the Beast, Rhinox, and Optimus Prime, and Bumblebee Halloween costumes out there, like the muscle body ones with the mask. Nothing special. As well as, like, a kidified version of Optimus Prime's Ion Blaster, which is weird, but whatever. It's mostly gray, has some yellow. It's a strange thing. 40th anniversary book is being proposed by James Roberts. A lot of people know him as one of the writers of IDW. I would hope that if he wrote a book, it would be more legible and readable than the comics. And I'm not going to say he was a bad writer or anything like that. I'm going to say whoever edited his work done a piss poor job. But apparently he's hoping to have a look at the fan culture before or in the early days of the internet and some fanzines, whatever a fanzine is. I assume it's a fan magazine, I suppose. I don't know if this will ever take off or not. Time will tell. Aaron Archer, who was a Hasbro designer at one point, he's doing art where he takes old instruction manuals and puts, like, graffiti art of the character on them that the manual is for. Looks really great. Something very different, really special, but it's on apparently official instruction manual. So very unique, very different. And the last piece of news is from More Art Gallery, G1 Megatron prints by Luke Priest, I assume is how you say his last name. He's the same guy who done the Optimus Prime prints. There will be print number 1, which is like Megatron kind of in the position of firing on Prime, like that last blow, so to speak. There will be 120 of those at $50 a pop, and then that same pose, but more looking like he's being reformatted. It's weird, but it's definitely more eye-striking. The other one will only have 75, and I think that one will retail for $57. I think the main one retails for $50 US. They look pretty cool. But they are definitely a little weird, a little unique. I'm going to do the trivia and check in with you guys before we do the unboxing to get out of here. So, the trivia. This should be a really, I hope, easy one. It's very, very topical to the releases and stuff we got coming on and coming up, and some people got, and they're going to be coming up soon and whatnot. The Junkion Trashmaster. And we know Trashmaster is a new Junkion coming out. Some people already have them. The Junkion Trashmaster, of course, speaks in TV talk, but he speaks in a particular type of TV talk. What is unique about Trashmaster's speech? Is it A, that it's all French? Is it B, that it is American football commentary? Is it C, fast food quotes only? Or is it D, professional wrestling catchphrases? So is it French, football, fast food, or wrestling? A, B, C, or D? Let's go up and see what you guys are saying here. I didn't like Rise of the Beast. My friend is a B fan and didn't like when B died, and I told him, now you know how 86. B dying was the best part of that movie. I loved it. I was so happy. I was a bit disappointed when he came back, to be honest with you. Like, I don't like Bumblebee at all. He gets on my nerves. I don't. I like you're saying you don't understand or you don't like Rise. I can't even fathom how anyone doesn't like Rise of the Beast. I don't get it. It's such a good film, such a clean film. I don't understand what there is to not like about it. I mean, to each their own, but I don't know. The only downside to Rise of the Beast was Wheeljack. Yes, I agree. And all they had to do was give him a different name. Character's fine, but give him a different name. As we go down here a bit. Oh, by the way, one other piece of news, I'll do it now. Frankentron, the Frankenstein crossover. That's the only piece of news because I said I was going to do it later and I passed over it. It's the Impactor mold being sold at a Voyager price. It's not as bad as taking the Mindwipe mold and selling it at an inflated liter price, because when Mindwipe came out here originally, if you can believe this, or not Mindwipe, when the Draculus came out here, it retailed for $84.99. That fell quickly because it was like Mindwipe was $16. I don't know why this is $84.99. I don't like the Frankenstein. I don't like that it's a Decepticon. I don't like the remolding. I don't like the crossover. I don't like that his hands are like this and he doesn't seem to have wrist swivel, which means he's just hands like this. I don't like it. I love the Impactor mold as Impactor. I don't like this. I don't like the look of it. I don't like anything about it. I'm not gonna lie. I saw it and I was like, well, that's really ugly. And then I saw the price and I was like, overcharging a deluxe as a Voyager? No, there's nothing here about this I like. If you do, cool. Personally, I'm like, don't do any more of these Universal monsters. They're not good. They're not good. And the Draculus fell until he got back to about $16, $17 at the discount chains. And like I've said before, we really don't get the cheap stuff here. So that could tell you how bad that sold. That could tell you right there how bad that sold. That it slashed from $85 to like 17 Canadian. Who wanted it? Just saying. I believe you were wrong, sir, about everything. Yeah, that guy. I think that guy was wrong about everything. He died like 4 years ago. I didn't know that. Anyway. I use sunscreen all the time. If I go outside and I don't have sunscreen, I burn, I blister, I peel, and I go turn back like so white I almost glow. I don't really tan, which is weird because Starscream White, she tans super duper dark. And if she's up for like 5 minutes, it's like boom, she got a tan. So I wear a lot of sunscreen and hats and that sort of stuff because I'm delicate. And it is what it is. I've always been like, it's just the way my skin is. Us real fans love the movie. I'm with you, Jason, buddy. As we go down here a bit, I found Mirage to be rather annoying. No, man. In fact, most of the lines weren't even written for him. Most of what's said is Pete Davidson ad-libbing. Like they gave him the ideas of what he's supposed to say, and he's just ad-libbing it. And they were like, "You're making so many wonderful '90s references. We're just going to leave it." And they left it. I thought it was great. I thought he was great. I didn't think I was going to like him, but as soon as they showed him with the F1 racing alt mode that he could have as an alt mode, I was like, I'm sold. I'm okay with this guy being Mirage. I thought he was great. I loved him. Didn't like the G.I. Joe tease. Don't care about the G.I. Joe tease. I think it's a nice way for Noah to have his brother's medical expenses paid for. And if it never goes any further than that, they don't actually do a G.I. Joe crossover, cool. But I feel like if they do a G.I. Joe crossover and Noah becomes anybody besides Tunnel Rat, because I feel like he should be Tunnel Rat for some reason. And I don't know why. I just look at him and I think, I can believe that you're Tunnel Rat. If he's anybody besides that, I don't know if I'll buy it. The actress who voiced Eraser didn't fit the character to me. I don't know. I thought can Michelle Yeoh do any wrong? Like, she's like acting royalty. You know, she's one of those actresses, like, if Michelle Yeoh is going to be in your show or your movie and you don't have a role for her, you make a role for her, right? It's as simple as that. That's like, here, there's a show that comes on here called Son of a Critch, and it's about like a Newfoundlander growing up in the 80s, a well-known comedian, Mark Critch. And it's about when he was basically young. And somehow, some way, Malcolm McDowell, I guess, wanted to be in the show, and they actually came up with the role of their grandfather for him so that he could be in the show. Because when Malcolm McDowell wants to be in your show, you make sure he can be in your show. It's as simple as that. The crossover was in the that crossover was in the comics, whatever. I don't care about crossovers. Let's see. Hey, Tens. If I didn't say it already. Hey, Waspinator, if I didn't say it already, I don't know if I did well for the current climate. Barbie and Oppenheimer were huge. Barbie and Oppenheimer were huge, but look at the rest of the movies, right? Was it one of the major blockbusters? No, but that's because fans are finicky and panned it before they ever watched it. And then once they watched it, they were unwilling to admit the truth to themselves. It's as simple as that. Let's see, as we go down here a bit. I'm happy that DNA reissued the kits for Combiner Wars Devastator and Predaking, and I'm glad you're happy, I guess. This is the news I can use. You're right, buddy. Yeah, the only real news, and I can do this, the only real news about Ultra Magnus, you go back to the beginning, is that he's shorter than I think a commander should be, but that mass is probably accounted for in his body and with the joints and stuff. But according to the Sunbow chart, he should be the same height as Rodimus and Springer. And obviously, this one is much bigger, but so is my Combiner War, so I'm not angry about it. The only time I find that the 86 looks odd is next to the Dinobots, and it's not because the Dinobots should be bigger. The 86 Dinobots are the correct size. Again, going by the Sunbow chart. Where they're two, compared to other leaders and stuff, that's exactly where they should be. So the Magnus is the one at a scale. But to get a look that's jump off the screen, I think that's what they had to do. The only thing that bugs me about him is when he's pointing and his shoulder, I feel like, is way too low on his body. Now I said a few more things, but that's the crux of it, based on those images that we saw from the in-hand images this week, right? But you can go back after and you can see what I said at that time. No, it could be dial tone. I could probably take him as dial tone. Well, I find Pete Davidson annoying. He's not, man. He's a hoot. I don't get you people, man. Sometimes you guys baffle me. I mean, to each their own. Bless your heart, but you guys baffle me a lot, man. I'm not gonna lie. Man, trying to go down here. Let's see. B's death had to be real shocking. You watched the trailers. I knew it was coming. Yeah, we knew it was coming. Trash talk. DBDDF, says Marcus. I don't know much about Trash Master other than Toy. DB. It is D. He uses wrestling catchphrases. Yes, sir. Those who said D, you guys are right. I like the promo knockoff called... Oh, my. Yeah, I'm going to remove that comment, Zoran. Little inappropriate, bud. You know why. I love you, but you know why. Redguard TV talk. Let's see. I think the Impactor mold would have made a good minor Megatron. No, just use the Megatron mold for it. Yeah, piano hands. Exactly. That's what he's stuck with. Piano hands. Exactly, Zoran. You got it, buddy. I'm going to wait for that Frankenstein to hit clearance. I'm just not getting it. I think it looks awful myself. I don't think it's a success, but I mean, that's me. I don't know why. What? I don't know why he said Starscream wife, but okay, whatever. So we go down here a bit. Waspinator says, I understand they remolded Frankenstein's hands that way for the Frankenstein. Oh, I get why they did it. I just don't like it. I think it was a bad idea. I get why they did it. I just don't like it. Hey, Hot Wheels. I wonder how it would have turned out if Robin Williams had been a voice of Wreck-Gar. I don't know. Interesting. If I were to last, what? If I were to get at last one Toxotron collection, it would be Sideswipe. I saw the Sideswipe. I mean, I didn't need it because it was like, why? I have Sideswipe in his right colors. But if you want it, like, he pops. Like, he's bright. He's very summery. He's very summery lad. Got Sideswipe and Jazz, all in cloud cover. Good for you, man. As we go down her bit. Let's see. Hey, hey, Machinery Terror. Yeah, the Kill Bison video. I mean, if you look up Lyle Kaiser, you'll actually see one where I actually have some 3D printed upgrades on him, and he's even better than he was. You know, is this the ideal Lyle Kaiser? No, but it is infinitely better than what we got with that Platinum Edition box set now. He's hefty. He's really hefty. I got a couple of things I'd still like to do with him, but I'm pretty darn happy with him, to be honest with you. I'll take that as a compliment. I don't like what they did with Frankenstein's hands either, right? I'm with you, man. Okay, let's do the unboxing. By the way, if I didn't say it, the answer was D, Wrestling Talk, but I'm pretty sure I did say it. Let's do the unboxing, get out of here. So, the first one, and this one will be Tuesday. Yeah, Friday. So this is going to be Tuesday's review, and it is, hold on. It is the interesting, I'll say that he's definitely interesting, Scorponok and Sandspare. I wasn't in for a lot from Rise of the Beast, and I get that this one is a more simplified offering, and I thought that these on the back were going to bug me a lot more than they do, but he's fairly solid in hand with decent articulation, and you know what? He had, honestly, the right price tag. And I'll compare him with my original Scorponok from like 96 or whenever he came out. That's been custom painted. My Earthrise that has some 3D parts on him to make him bigger. You'll see what I mean. And the 4-pack one, as well as another one, a little tiny one that came with the Studio Series Blackout. So we're going to see kind of a swarm of Scorpions when we review this guy. Should be a pretty quick little ride on Tuesday. Then next Friday, we're not doing a review. Next Friday is something a little different, a collab between myself and Lazy Eyebrow and Anthony and a little bit of T-Fan Page 101. It'll be interesting next Friday, and then the following week on Tuesday, we're going to have a look at this guy. It is Bombshell. So Bombshell will be a week from Tuesday, and we're going to look at Bombshell, of course, next to his other two brethren. And then not this Friday, a week from, no, well, 2 weeks from tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is going to be Shadow Striker. The following Friday is going to be the collab thing, which is a bit different. It'll be fun on a Friday. And then the following Friday after that will be a swarm of Insecticons, where I'm going to look at the G1 Insecticons next to these guys and the Titans Return ones. And we're going to see which one has the best in terms of popping, like in terms of look, which one has the best articulation, and which one has the best transformation. That'll be an interesting overview, as well as a few other Insecticons that I'm going to throw in there just for some fun. Now, so Bombshell and Scorponok. That's tonight's unboxing, but we got one more unboxing, which is this package. By the way, this came from Amazon.com, not CA. and it came in a bag. You guys get these things in bags now. Up here, we still get them in boxes. This is ridiculous. But I think that this is an important one to open together here on the air. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to get out of here. Yeah, we do need a new Lio Kaiser. I'll actually agree with that. With the chest minions and all 6 members. And full articulation and the size of, like, the Combiner Wars Legacy Minotaur. That's the right size for combiners in the main line. I think a bunch of... Might be a gang, a gaggle of scorpions. Oh, a gaggle of scorpions. I hope I remember that. That's cool. I like that. Where can I find Megatron that turned to G2? That turned into a... I don't know. You're going to have to look for it. I don't know why people ask questions like this. Why would I know that? The only Megatron that I have is Hegemon. Toy World's Hegemon. Look him up. See if you can get him. That's my best advice to you. Google is your friend. Good-looking Insecticon gang. They're good-looking. Not perfect. Not perfect, certainly in the color, but they're pretty good, and I think that they're about as definitive as can be. You know, I'm glad to have them because they're part of my kind of, I'll say, majority exit strategy where I'm picking and cherry picking a lot more. Classics Nerf, I suppose. Yeah, you could do the 2006 one. Bevy of Scorpions. I like that too. Okay, so let's open this up. And what's in here? What arrived today? What arrived today is... Oh, look at that. I'm okay with this. If it comes in a shipper box, I'm okay with this. This is from the Generation Ecom Capsule 4. The exciting Generation Ecom Capsule 4. And we're going to split this. Yeah, exit strategy. As in, I want to stop buying everything. Like, I'm downsizing a lot because the Hasbro prices are insane. And I mean insane. Like, here, deluxe is like $40. Like, well, it's 37 or 38 or something, depending on where you buy. But it can be $40. Like, for deluxe, like, I don't know. You're on crack. We're going to throw that down. And this is the somewhat controversial Nacelle. Yes, I adore this mold. This is the vastly superior Seeker mold. Vastly superior. I've said that from day one. I know people love the Earthrise because they love the alt mode, but the articulation limits on that and the inaccuracy to animation bugs me. Now, I know that this guy's inaccurate to a Nacelle. I won't say animation, but the Nacelle spirit. But we'll talk about that when we do the review. Hold on. I'm just checking what you guys are saying here. Call Amazon. They refunded you. That's good. I'm glad. Found a couple of Jazz, Cheeto, and Laser. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about the Toxitron stuff? Got me in a cell last week. Quite pleased with it. Mold has not degraded much. That's good. The cell looks cool. He's expensive here. Well, I mean, that's Hasbro for you. Now you know why I have like an exit idea, right? Do I have the Constructicons that make Devastator? Yes, I do. Obviously, you haven't been watching my shorts. Go back and watch my shorts. Right now, they are in the Constructicons modes. And if you look up on the channel Devastator, you'll actually see the original review from way back that's not very good. And you'll see that I reviewed them again when they had their re-release in 2019 and done a re-review then. So absolutely. You got to explore the channel a bit, Holla, before you ask me these questions. Now that's what I'm wondering. Will he have the fungus that people have been talking about? I really hope not. I really hope not. Look at the box before going. What? Case not every. Yeah. Well, I always do, right? No, why would I need to review my own? I've reviewed everything I have. Every single thing I've ever owned, Joseph has reviewed. You can go back and find everything I've ever owned. Every single. I don't need to do a retro review. My thoughts haven't changed. Like if I looked at my G1 Beachcomber, my thoughts about him are the same. If I looked at my classics Hound, which I did in GotBot True Review number 7, that's still my thoughts about Hound. I don't know why people go back and do things that they've already done. There's tons of stuff, man, that I haven't done yet. I have several weeks worth of reviews. Several weeks. What? What do you guys think of the Mod Fans Toys roller? Yeah, you asked me about that. I don't know it, so I'm not a masterpiece guy. I don't know roller transforming. I don't get it. It's not for me. I'm not on edge. It's just, why do people ask me questions like where you can buy stuff? Google it. I don't know. And people ask like, do I have this or that? If people were watching the channel, they'd already have the answers. Please, I implore you, explore the channel. There's a lot of stuff, man. I've got over 1,100 reviews. Explore them. Check it out. Put in GotBot and whatever character you want. See if I did a review on it. Simple as that. A lot of times people will ask me this stuff in the comments. Same with the countdowns. And I'll be like, Blue can tell you. He tried to give me a bunch of suggestions this week. Bless his heart. I love you for trying. And how many times, Blue, did I come back to you with the link to this countdown, the link to this countdown, right? So that's why I always say it's not me being on edge. It's stop asking me. Explore the channel. We're a community. Explore the channel, man. Okay. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Here's the moment of truth. Here is the moment of truth. Man, you guys keep talking like I can't take it out if I got to be answering stuff. Big M says the roller is a nice, simple figure.
What was it?
What?
What is it?
What's what?
What was in the package?
This guy.
I can't
It's
see
this.
that.
It's Nacelle. It's one of the Seekers.
Oh. That's all I can say about it.
Oh, we all know who my favorite fish boy is. You, baby. You, Nortalica. Okay. Sheesh. Okay. Okay. Are we ready? Are we ready? Are we good? And out he comes from the box. I have instructions. I need a flashlight to be sure here. I'm looking. I don't see any fungus. I do see two null rays. Here we go. I don't know. Do you guys see anything on him? I don't. He looks intact. He looks good. Looks good. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, whoo! I'm going to get out of here. It's really hot. I love each and every one of you. You know that whether we agree, whether we disagree, it does not matter. I'm going to go. I'm going to spend some time with my dog and my wife. And I thank you for being here. I thank my wife for her patience. And I love each and every one of you. Thank you for giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to move or help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you are at it, please hit the subscribe button. Stick around. Have some fun with us here on the channel. And especially don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single one of you, each and every single day, you do make a difference. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or the old-fashioned way right here.
Inside the video?
No, I gotta say this. Hala, stop. I'm gonna read Hala's thing. Do some yoga. Get a cup of coffee. No, stop asking silly questions. There you go. We're done. Inside the videos.